If you've been on social media at all lately, you've probably seen it. A post, maybe a video, claiming a new fourth stimulus check is coming. It's gone viral. But is any of it true? Well, today we're going to cut right through all that noise and get straight to the facts, separating what's just a rumor from what's actually real.
So let's just rip the Band-Aid off and get right to the big question everyone is asking. Is the government really sending out another round of stimulus payments in 2025?
And the answer, coming straight from the IRS and the U.S. Treasury Department, is a very, very clear no. Let me be direct. Right now, there is no new federal stimulus program approved, there's nothing announced, and there's nothing even being seriously worked on.
Okay, so that begs the question, right? If the official answer is such a firm no, why is the internet telling a completely different story? Let's dive into that gap between the online rumors and the official reality.
It's really a tale of two worlds. On one hand, you've got all this online chatter, claims of new checks anywhere from $1,390 all the way up to $5,000. But on the other hand, you have the official reality. The IRS has confirmed that absolutely no funding or legislation for a fourth check even exists.
To really understand why these new rumors are getting so much traction, it actually helps to take a quick look back at what the real stimulus programs were like during the pandemic. The official record here is crystal clear. There were only 3 rounds of federal economic impact payments. That's it. The first one was back in 2020 as part of the CARES Act, and that was followed by 2 more in late 2020 and into 2021. 3 rounds, and that program is completely over. And the scale of this was just staggering. We're talking about more than $900 billion that were sent out to Americans. These weren't just rumors. They were huge legislated responses to a global crisis.
And here's kind of the final nail in the coffin for any of those old programs. Even if you were eligible for one of those payments and somehow missed it, the official deadline to claim any of that money has now passed. As of April 15, 2025, that window is officially closed.
All right, so that brings us to the newest rumor, the one that's really pouring fuel on this fire. You might have heard of it. It's being called the DOGE Dividend. Let's break down what in the world that actually is.
So the internet is buzzing about this quote-unquote $5,000 check. But the reality? This is just a concept, an idea. There's no bill, there's no funding, there's no official plan to make it happen. To put it simply, it's a proposal, not a policy. So where did this whole idea even come from? Well, it all goes back to this one single comment from former President Trump at a summit back in February. He was floating this hypothetical idea of giving back savings from a government efficiency initiative he was proposing. So let's just connect the dots here. The idea came from those remarks. It's linked to a hypothetical Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE for short. And its current status? It's just an idea. There is zero legal or budgetary authority behind it. It's just talk. Unfortunately, all of this confusion creates the perfect storm for scammers. And that brings us to a really serious warning from the IRS about how you can protect yourself.
Okay, listen up, because this part is really important. The IRS Criminal Investigation Division is warning everyone that scammers are jumping all over these rumors. They're sending out fake texts, emails, creating phony websites, and they have one goal: to steal your personal and financial information.
The IRS wants you to be on the lookout for 4 major red flags. Number 1, any random unsolicited text or email promising you a stimulus check. Number 2, fake websites that have sketchy or misspelled URLs. 3, any message that pressures you, saying you have to act immediately. And number 4, and this is a big one, any request for an upfront fee to process a payment. The real IRS will never ask you for that. And if you remember only one thing from this whole section, make it this. This is a direct quote from an IRS fraud alert. The IRS will never contact taxpayers by text, email, or social media to discuss refunds or rebates. It really is that simple. If you get a message like that, you know it's a scam. Okay, so let's boil this all down. After all this, what's the one thing you absolutely need to walk away with? Putting the rumors aside for a second, there are some very real-world economic reasons a new federal check is highly unlikely. Right now, the government's main economic battle is against inflation, and another massive stimulus could just pour fuel on that fire. And on top of that, getting any major spending bill through Congress right now would be a huge political challenge. Now, here's something that can be confusing. You might see news about checks being sent out in certain states, and those can be real, but those are state-level tax rebates or local programs. They have absolutely nothing to do with a new round of federal stimulus for the whole country.
So with all this conflicting information flying around online, the best way to protect yourself and get the real story is simple. When you're in doubt, you always go directly to the official source.
Forget the social media posts. Forget the forwarded texts. For verified, accurate, and safe information about any legitimate government payment, there is only one place you need to go: the official IRS website, irs.gov. That is the only source of truth.